In the earliest whispers of time, long before the world knew the rise and fall of empires, there was a land shrouded in mystery and mist, a land where rivers ran like veins through the earth, and forests stretched endlessly beneath the skies. This was Eldoria, a kingdom forgotten by history, yet alive in the echoes of forgotten songs and tales whispered beneath the stars. The people of Eldoria were not born from royalty or ancient bloodlines. They were wanderers and dreamers, scattered tribes bound by the harshness of the land and the unyielding spirit of survival. For generations, they lived apart, each tribe guarding its secrets and traditions, wary of outsiders. But the winds of change were stirring, as a man named Arion, born of humble origins, envisioned a unity no one else dared to dream. Arion grew up among the wild hills and deep valleys, learning the ways of the earth and the whispers of the wind. He was unlike others, calm yet fierce, thoughtful yet resolute. The stories say that even as a child, he carried the weight of destiny on his small shoulders, gazing at the stars and wondering what lay beyond the horizon. The tribes often clashed, their differences growing like fires that threatened to consume them all. But Arion believed in something greater. He traveled from tribe to tribe, speaking not with the words of war, but with stories of hope, of peace, of a future where the tribes would rise together like a single, mighty oak from scattered acorns. Many laughed at him. Others challenged his vision, seeing him as a naive dreamer. But in his heart, Arion knew the power of unity. Slowly, the tides began to turn. One by one, tribes opened their gates, offering hands in peace instead of swords in battle. Eldoria was born not from conquest, but from the courage to dream beyond survival. The first years of Eldoria were filled with trials. Winters were harsh and merciless, the biting cold testing the limits of every soul. Food was scarce, the beasts of the forest prowled near the villages, and old rivalries simmered beneath the surface. Yet, under Arion's guidance, the people endured. They built walls not to imprison, but to protect. They sowed seeds not just in soil, but in the hearts of their people. One story that has survived through the ages tells of a winter so cold that even the fires seemed to burn with sorrow. It was during this winter that a great beast descended from the northern mountains, a creature of shadow and fury, feared by all. The elders called it the Frost Wraith, a spirit born from the cold itself, sent to punish those who dared to unite the tribes. Arion, refusing to yield, gathered the people in the great hall of Eldoria. His voice rang clear as he spoke, "We are not afraid, for our strength lies not in the steel of our swords, but in the bond we share. Together, we will face the darkness and stand as one." The battle that followed is etched into the memory of Eldoria's descendants. 4 days, m. As Eldoria blossomed from its fragile beginnings into a kingdom of strength and grace, a golden era dawned upon the land. This was a time when art and knowledge intertwined, and the people thrived not only in wealth but in spirit. The rivers, once wild and untamed, now carried boats laden with goods and stories, connecting towns and cities like veins of life. The palace of Eldoria, perched on a hill overlooking the sprawling capital, became a beacon of wisdom and culture. King Arion's successor, Queen Seraphina, ruled with a gentle hand and a sharp mind. She was known far and wide for her wisdom, fairness, and the tales she told that wove magic into the hearts of her people. Queen Seraphina was not just a monarch but a patron of the arts. Under her reign, painters captured the beauty of Eldoria's landscapes, musicians composed melodies that echoed through the forests, and poets penned verses that spoke of love, loss, and the timeless spirit of humanity. The schools founded during Arion's reign flourished under Seraphina's guidance. Scholars gathered from distant lands to share their knowledge, turning Eldoria into a hub of learning. The libraries grew vast, with scrolls and books covering topics from astronomy to philosophy. Among the many stories from this golden age, one stands out: the tale of Leora, a young artist whose paintings were said to hold the very essence of Eldoria's soul. Leora's brush captured not just the physical beauty of the world but the emotions that stirred within it: joy, sorrow, hope, and despair. Life in Eldoria was not without its challenges, however. The kingdom's expansion brought it into contact with neighbors who eyed its prosperity with envy and suspicion. Borders were tested, and old alliances strained under the weight of new ambitions. Yet, Eldoria's people faced these trials with unity and resolve, their shared history binding them like an unbreakable chain. The seasons turned, and Eldoria grew richer in tradition and strength. Festivals celebrated the changing of the seasons, bringing together people from every corner of the kingdom to share in music, dance, and stories. These celebrations reminded all that despite the hardships, life was to be cherished in its every fleeting moment. Queen Seraphina's reign also marked a time of innovation. Engineers and inventors crafted devices that harnessed the power of water and wind, easing the burdens of daily life and opening new horizons for trade and communication. The kingdom's roads, once mere dirt paths, became paved with stone, guiding travelers safely through the lands. In the quiet corners of Eldoria, beneath the starry skies, lovers whispered promises that would echo. Rough generations. Children played beside gentle streams, unaware of the weight of history being shaped around them. Eldoria was alive, vibrant and eternal in its spirit. Yet, even in this golden age, shadows lingered. Whispers of rebellion stirred in distant provinces, and the
Every
kingdom, no matter how radiant, faces the shadows that threaten to consume it. Eldoria was no exception. After decades of peace and prosperity, the winds of misfortune began to blow, subtle at first, like whispers carried on the breeze, but growing louder with each passing season. The neighboring realms, once cautious and distant, now saw Eldoria as a prize to be claimed rather than a friend to be respected. Borders were crossed without warning, and once friendly traders turned into spies and saboteurs. The unity that had held Eldoria together began to fray, worn thin by betrayal and mistrust. The last king of Eldoria, King Theron, was a man torn between the legacy of his ancestors and the harsh realities of his time. He was wise, yet burdened by the growing conflicts that threatened to unravel all that had been built. His court was filled with counsel and whispers, some loyal, others plotting in the shadows. As the kingdom's enemies closed in, so too did a mysterious darkness descend from within. Strange happenings were reported, crops failing overnight, animals fleeing the forests, and eerie lights flickering in the depths of the ancient woods. Some claimed the spirits of Eldoria's ancestors were restless, angered by the greed and discord spreading through the land. In the final days, King Theron sought answers beyond the mortal realm. He journeyed to the sacred mountain, where the oldest seer lived in solitude. The seer spoke of a prophecy: when the light dims and shadows reign, only the true heart can restore balance or the kingdom shall be lost to time. But fate was swift. Invaders breached the walls, fires consumed the great halls, and the once proud people of Eldoria scattered like leaves before a storm. In the chaos, the kingdom vanished from the maps and memories of the outside world, becoming a ghost story told in hushed tones. Yet, the mystery remains. What truly caused Eldoria's fall? Was it mere war and betrayal, or something darker, hidden beneath the layers of time? Some believe the kingdom's legacy was sealed away, waiting for the right soul to rediscover its secrets. Tales speak of hidden tunnels beneath the ruins, of forgotten treasures guarded by ancient magic. Explorers and scholars have sought Eldoria's lost city, drawn by the lure of its mystery and the hope of uncovering a forgotten past. The story of Eldoria's fall is a reminder that even the brightest lights can fade, but the echoes of their brilliance endure, waiting to be heard by those who listen. As you drift deeper into this tale, remember every end is but a beginning in disguise, and the past may yet speak if you dare to listen closely. Though Eldoria vanished from maps and memory, its spirit never truly died. The legacy of a kingdom forged through unity, courage, and dreams lived on, hidden in legends, etched in ruins, and whispered through the winds that swept across the ancient lands. Centuries later, explorers and historians, drawn by tales passed down through generations, began piecing together the fragments of Eldoria's story. The ruins uncovered beneath tangled forests and forgotten hills told of grandeur lost, majestic halls, intricate carvings, and artifacts that shimmered with the glow of a civilization long gone. Scholars debated the meaning of the symbols found on stone tablets and crumbling walls. Some believed they held secrets of the Eldorians' advanced knowledge of stars, nature, and the unseen forces that governed life itself. Others spoke of the kingdom's deep respect for balance, harmony, and the power of community. In villages near the ancient ruins, elders shared stories of ancestors who once walked proud streets and celebrated life under Eldoria's golden skies. These tales kept the memory alive, a bridge between the past and the present, reminding all that history is never truly lost when it lives in hearts. The rediscovery of Eldoria inspired a new generation to look beyond the present, to seek connection with the past, and to dream of building a future as strong and enduring. Artists, writers, and musicians found muse in the kingdom's story, creating works that celebrated resilience, hope, and the timeless human spirit. The legacy of Eldoria teaches us that while kingdoms may rise and fall, the essence of what they stood for, unity, courage, and hope, is eternal. It reminds us that every story, no matter how forgotten, has the power to inspire and awaken the spirit within. As you come to the end of this tale, remember: the past and present are woven together like threads in a grand tapestry, each echo carrying the promise of tomorrow. May the story of Eldoria be a gentle lullaby, guiding you into peaceful dreams and inspiring your own journey beyond the horizon. Thank you for traveling through time and memory, and may the forgotten kingdom's whispers stay with you always.